Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Play King's Bounty with No Fair Fight! Crossworlds! And we're on the Nameless Island, an island of the undead, more or less so. And there is a very, very good number of quests that we can do here, and that is maybe more than I can handle, actually. Oh boy. This is a tricky situation. We're sandwiched between two forces, but we got into our ships, which is good. The problem with the Nameless Island is that there is not a lot, or especially only one real point you can land your ship on. And that limits your movement abilities on the map. And you always have to go to this weak spot where there are so many enemies that it's really, really hard. Have to try to lure them away and then outmaneuver them, because when you get inside of the island, when you get into the island, it's relatively easy to travel. There's not a lot of monsters roaming around there. You're practically free to do whatever you like, and the island is very, very good when it comes to spells and to stuff to buy. Magnificent. Here, sheep, excellent spell, a little bit costly, point taken. I mean, it costs 30 mana to cast that thing on level 1. But it turns an enemy for 2 turns into a sheep that cannot attack or counterattack, which is awesome. Especially if you're fighting lots and lots and lots of smaller creatures. Have a look. Yeah, there it is. Sheep. 30 mana. Oh my goodness, no. Still, especially painful for you if you're fighting goblin towers when you're trying to suppress an artifact. Then you will run into goblin towers, and goblin towers have the ability to turn your troops into sheep, and that's really harsh because they have no mana problem. They can do that as they want. There is the turn back time scroll that we need for the dwarf, and I really, really like beholders like a lot. Evil beholders, that is, because of their ability to take over enemies, or better so to say, force them. This crown is absolutely beautiful. 50% resistance to astral and magic damage, plus 5 mana, plus 5 rage. This is an excellent helmet. We have one at the 400 leadership. That is pretty cool for us. But trust me, this helmet for 50,000 is a steal. 50% resistance to magic and astral damage. There's some targets that you can do absolutely beautiful stuff with. I know, I should have taken Ghost Pirates, and if you make a playthrough yourself in the highest difficulty level, I think I would recommend taking the pirates with you, the Ghost Pirates, because they are really cool. But I decided to go, well, a little bit out of efficiency and a little bit more into what I really like, and this is this beholders. I know, you deserve better. You deserve, look at that, Phantom and Blindness. Blindness, one of the best spells because cheap and effective, ladies and gentlemen. It hardly gets any better than that. This is Pest, I think, or Disease. Yeah, is okay. Not that great, but okay. But there is a quest here that we can really do easily. Not this one here. That is finding parts. 2 of them you can get without fighting, but 1 of them you have to fight a zombie, and that is dangerous. Plus 10 mana and plus 20 scroll capacity in your spellbook. Nah, actually for an artifact slot that's a bit costly in my eyes. I think you can do a lot better than that. It might be your savings in the beginning when you have so many scrolls that your scroll capacity is overdone, but 21,000 just for that is a bit costly. But here, he wants us to give someone gold that lives on the island of Verona. And funny thing is, we just have to go there and bring him that. And that is his riddle, and if we solve it, we'll get the torso of the statue. And the answer, by the way, is always the master. Yeah, don't ask me. It is the master. What is stronger than all in the world? The master. It's not love. It's not the law of balance. You can't do wrong. I'm picking basically the last one. And the next one is the master, of course. And obviously the correct is the master. However, I do not understand how other choices. Indeed, what's the meaning of life? The journey towards death. Nonsense. To enjoy it. Nonsense. To discover the world and grow to know ourselves. I give up. I have no more guesses. It's the master, of course. Well, whatever. Is he selling anything? He's selling 2 items. I often use the Cloak of Shadows because minus 30% of an enemy attack value at night is amazing. But at the moment we have no room for that. They are selling dragons, red and bone. Totally love red dragons in the beginning and bone dragons in the beginning, because they can get you the achievement of battle alchemy so fast that it is a joy to watch. Necromancers, please keep in mind that you might have moral problems if you take these guys with you. So I would not recommend that. And you can all see that there is now a new red dot on the field, but that is no problem because this guy is not aggressive. Yes, he's an enemy. That is actually the zombie that is carrying the hand, but yeah, you can ignore him. He's not going to attack you. Unless you talk to him. Well then, he gives you the option to attack him. We, however, have to get our butts out of here and to Verona in order to get our quest done. The problem is that this bone dragon is not doing as he should and following us. And if he's not following us, we cannot outmaneuver him. And if we cannot outmaneuver him, we're not getting what we want. And he's sitting directly on the bridge. But we can do this. Oh, honestly. Timing is everything. Now you might wonder, Boris, where is that guy with the chest? By the way, you cannot open the chest. That was my first idea. Just, you know, to get the gold that was there, for not for us, but for the for the other guy. But that is not where we have to go. That armor there is no use for us. He's not selling anything we need. Yes, you could collect again the tooth. There is more than enough of those tooth for the dragon necklace, but we don't need that at the moment. What we really need is to find the guy that needs the gold. And that guy is close. He's up there. That's the peasant that is standing there in the background. You can see with the pitchfork. That is the guy we're looking for. The guy that is moving to us here is some kind of peasant as well, but he's an enemy. And if I may give you a tip, it is to take marauders into your army when you are on higher maps. Because the higher the map, the better the items are that you can, the amount of gold you can find when your marauders are plundering. And look at that, we collected the gold and we can give it to him and just checking if we can use it. But I would really not recommend this. Very bad idea. No, we don't want to do that. We need the experience more than we need the gold. And yeah. He wants us to take the crystal, that's the castle, but there is no way in hell we can do that. She's selling gloves for horsemen? Or whatever. Wouldn't know how that should help us, but there it is. And this barbarian is not moving away. This can become a real problem. Get away! Divine armor. That increases your resistances. And remember, you cannot be immune to damage, but you can be quite resistant. We go back to the Nameless Isle because we want to have the quest solved. And we get the Death Star spell, by the way, which is pretty awesome. A little bit hard to handle when you use it on the battlefield because of the way it works. It will send rays of death in a star direction. So top, bottom, left, right, and in between 45 degrees, so to speak. And that is hilariously dangerous to your own forces because that spell doesn't care what it hits. But if you position yourselves right and lure the enemy into the right trap or right position, you can do really good damage with that spell. Amazing amounts of damage. A little bit hard to outmaneuver this ghost, but I'm pretty sure we can do it. By the way, these are not the ghosts from King's Bounty 1, the oldest of the King's Bounty, because their ghosts grow by the number of enemies they killed. Heroes of Might and Magic did the same thing, and that always goes wrong because you end up with millions of ghosts that are unstoppable. So yeah, that's not how it should work. Plague is the spell, yeah. Health reduced by 15, attack and defense reduced by 15%. But remember, this is level 1 without bonuses from your character that you get for being higher in skill and intelligence. And there is a ghost ship, the Flying Hollander. But we're more interested in getting this guy away from us so that we can deliver the quest, and that should be absolutely 1 if not 2 level ups, because that is a really high level area we're in here. Yay! 7,000 experience. Holy cannoli, look at that. We're leveling like insane, and we're almost through. We're over more than half of the next level. Boy, sorry, I'm tired. I got company this night again in form of my son and several mosquitoes, but they all died. We survived. I call it a day. So, well, actually, they're not mosquitoes. I think they're little flying, stinging insects. They're really annoying. There are a lot of things I hate, or I would say I really, really despise. But this definitely are some of them. I can totally not stand these things. This high-pitched sound they make and the sting they do, absolutely not my thing. So, time to deliver. First of all, we'll deliver the next quest, and that is the secret turn back time spell. Scroll, which will do wonders to our dwarves, because well he lost the bet. That's the reason he's not crafting anymore, so we kick him back in time so that he no longer has to lose the bet, and he uses a scroll and he comes back, and yeah, he's still losing the bet, but he gives us a hell of a lot of experience, and he's giving us 9 runes in total. There are very little quests that give you 9 runes, ladies and gentlemen, so that is amazing. He increases his offer of troops. Please keep in mind that the alchemist potions do not have a guarantee to poison and fire normally. I think in poison the guarantee is rather low. But he sells also new items. Ghost Sword is an idea if you've got the entire Ghost set, at least theoretically speaking. The first 2 turns, there will be no counterattacks. That is what the Ghost set means. The armor of the Ghost, the sword of the Ghost, and the head of the Ghost. The head is the least expensive, 10,000. The armor is 21,000. And the sword is 35,000. So, this lens increases our income by 20% out of battles. Isn't that amazing? We have a lot of runes, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of runes. Should definitely use that. But here we go. What is most important? I tell you, it is distortion magic. because distortion magic has traps, and the trap achievement you can only get if you kill people with traps. Not wound them, but kill them. And that is basically only really possible and reliable possible if you do it in the beginning of the phase, beginning of the adventure, so on the starting island with overwhelming odds. Because later on, in the highest possible difficulty, you will find very little troops that you can kill with traps, unless you're very lucky and you just give them the last punch. Glory is not that much leadership in the beginning. It gets more if you level it up, but remember, there's only 3 levels in it, so yeah, not so sure if that is the right choice. In the Mind Rune skill set, that is the Paladin set, basically. There are some things that can help you with, if you cancel the last skill on the right down is something that helps you if you're working with animals. Snake army, spider army, something like that, bear army, if you're into that stuff. I would really go for meditation, especially in a let's play. Meditation is really good because it increases your regeneration rate, and that is what takes a lot of time in the recordings. Summoner is good if you have the right troops in your army, because Summoner doesn't only affect your summoning of troops, but also your allies. So, for example, if you have demons or demologists or something like that, and they call in troops, that also increases that dramatically. So that's really not bad. Death Star, oh boy, look at that. But it costs 30 mana, which is really expensive. The good spells in my eyes are the small spells, the easy to cast spells that take an enemy out completely. Not to buy damage by, for example, fear. You have an army of dragons, use fear a lot, because it's only 10 mana. As a mage, you can cast it 2 times in a row, if you've got high magic high enough. And it takes out 2 enemy forces entirely, because when you are under fear effect, you cannot attack units of higher level. Then there is blind, which is beautiful. Well, there's sheep, that is of course too expensive. There is trap, of course. A trap, even a 1-level trap, can stop any target that has feet or is not soaring or flying, that in his tracks. If a dragon lands on that thing, he loses his turn. You will see that later on. There's a lot of good stuff you can do with traps. Really cheap, really effective. Very, very good spell. We're still thinking and working on what we should cast or what we should increase. The main problem is that we have very little mana. We are mages. We have to train our mage achievements. And we only have 34 mana. This is unacceptable. We need a lot more mana to be effective. Especially because I think we have to cast spell like Stone Skin over 500 times to get the medals up. So that's really harsh. Not just looking around for the spells. We've got some really good one there. I mean, Phoenix is expensive, and the Phoenix itself doesn't live that long. But he is able to do a lot of damage because of the fire attacks. It's not so much himself, but the things that he calls in. There are, by the way, different companions that you can get. Well, the question is, where do we go next? There's still some quests to do. And so we're going to Dersu Island. And we'll see each other next time. Bye!